Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson. And I'm going to start it off with this clip from the Hopeful Elect 3's YouTube channel. And the title is simply the laughing face emoji, which, let's play it.
Right? Which is discrimination.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on.
Okay,
so
you said you were going to leave.
And real quick, I don't know if that's a dusty Edomite chick, though she looks like an Issacharite or a so-called Mexican woman to me. Hey, never deal with a Issacharite woman that looks like that, but that's a side note.
Please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day.
That is illegal.
That's illegal.
I said Trump discriminates us.
That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
Okay, but that's who you support. That's who you love. Though.
You don't, but you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
You're gonna no longer have your job.
Literally. Like, I'm confused. Is this a joke?
Good luck maintaining your employment.
I don't care. Have a great day.
When your company is charged, yeah, you will.
So literally, Jake's wearing his hoodie. They would not serve us because Jake's wearing a Trump hoodie. Talking about discrimination.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is that we're American citizens and I wanted to get a smoothie.
Because my manager was here, she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, okay?
But hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not.
Discrimination.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not due to political views, though. Not due to political views.
You asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable,
it's a
right
crime.
or wrong. You asked the question, and she answered. Have a great day.
That's
Have a great day. The door
crime.
is right there. Have a great day.
How embarrassing.
Have a great day. Call the police. Okay?
Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
Hey, Judah is that old lion, like a lion's whelp. Who shall rouse him up? But, this lesson's going to be dealing with the fact that, especially with Trump in office, American citizens are turning against each other. Those that supported Trump, and hey, even globally, the peoples of the world are turning against America, and you Americans, especially you Edomite Americans, or so-called white people that supported him. And it's all a part of biblical prophecy that the nations of the world are turning against you Edomites because you are at the end of your rulership. The curses are starting to come upon you. Persecution's starting to come upon you. World War III is going to take place, which America's going to be wiped off the face of the earth by nuclear missiles. And then after the dust settles, Yahushai, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, along with the 144,000 of the elect, are going to come off the chariots and begin enslaving you heathens, beginning with the Edomites. But now, I'm going to go to the main video I really wanted to get to from Large Man Abroad's YouTube channel titled, MAGA Tourist Gets Brutal Reality Check in Ireland and Plays the Victim. And you can see her little TikTok caption, left in tears in Northern Ireland, I've never felt more unwelcome. As we'll see in this clip, hey, more and more people turning against America and you American Edomites. Because, again, Trump is just running roughshod on the world and throwing a lot of things in upheaval and leading us into World War III. So incidences like this are only going to intensify as we get closer and closer to all hell breaking loose and America's inevitable destruction. But this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes. And actually, before we start, we're going to get the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. And this whole book is dedicated to the judgment and the downfall of you Edomites. Edom will be humbled. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. The prophets, chiefly the men of GMS, a great millstone, preaching this word on the highways and byways, as well as putting up video epistles like this. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle, which you're seeing these nations do economically, with the BRICS, and militarily. You've got Iran going back and forth with the U.S. and Israel, and the U.S., losing support for their continued operations in Iran. Verse 2, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And that small among the heathen goes into two things. Your demographics being small, because you Edomites are in fact the global minority, and especially in these Western European countries and just the West in general, your birth rates are declining. I think in America, you Edomites have a negative birth rate. And then you being made small and despised among the heathen is your reputation, because more and more nations are seeing that you, especially you American Edomites, are the root cause of all the problems taking place on the earth, as well as the puppet masters of America, the 1948ers, the small hats, which when they say jump, America says how high, and then bends over. But let's get back to this clip. And this is, though you got a lot of Jakes, a lot of Israelite foreigners in Ireland, this is Edomite on Edomite discrimination. So imagine these other heathen nations' disdain for you American Edomites.
That moment when you go into a Northern Ireland bar and are immediately accused of being a bad person because you're from the United States, doesn't feel very good.
Here's the thing. Are Americans actually being targeted because their political affiliations or who they voted for abroad? No, not really. Maybe. But, of course, you might have to answer some questions. It's incredibly naive. The United States right now is going across the globe, destabilizing everything, making life harder for everyone. I mean every country. The global economy has been shaken to its core.
Hey, Habakkuk chapter 2, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, whose desire is hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, who enlargeth his desire and gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all peoples. Right now with Trump, he's looking for the greater North American sphere. He wants Canada, Greenland, Mexico, Cuba, Colombia, all the way to Venezuela. And now at the behest of his pimp, the state of Israel, and they're trying to get it in with Iran. These prophecies fit you Edomites like a glove. You can do nothing to escape it.
Because the decisions of our president, this great sadist, sitting in the highest chair of our nation. But this lady is going viral on TikTok right now for all the right reasons, because she decided to go to a bar in Northern Ireland while being a MAGA supporter.
I walked in with my husband to the Central Bar, and I immediately noticed that they had the world news on, rightfully so. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world, and sure, they want to watch it. I'm a visitor in your country. That is completely your prerogative. The woman behind the bar was so kind. She was very nice, gave us our pints, what have you. Then the gentleman said, "Are you American?" And I said, "Yes, we're American." And I'm not lying to you when I say it instantly went from, "Yes, I'm American," to, "Well, who'd you vote for?" And I kind of was just shocked. I'm like, wow, that was very direct. And I said, we're on vacation. We're trying to get away from all of that. We don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, but the internet remembers, and it doesn't matter how much you try to delete all your pro-Trump posts, internet's going to find them, and that's exactly what happened.
Posted this the other day talking about how we're canceling people because of who they allegedly voted for, but wait, I saw this. What was that? And what is this one?
Oh, so you really don't care about illegal immigrants being detained by ICE and families being separated? No.
See, the thing a lot of MAGA supporters don't understand is that the majority of the world despise them. So when they take their asses outside the United States and actually understand that they're not liked, they're always confused. They think that it doesn't really matter who I vote for, that's my personal choice. But when your personal choice inflicts harm and pain on countries all over the world, and a nation like Ireland, a nation that's been historically oppressed for hundreds and hundreds of years, they take these kind of things personally. So yeah, I think it's about time that when you start seeing American tourists go to these places, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in Mexico, whether it be anywhere, and they're wearing their MAGA hat and they're, showing their bullshit, or you find out about it, or you want to ask them questions about it. I actually think that's fine. If you walk up to me and you're like, who'd you vote for? I'd be like, please look at my channel. You want to know my opinions on everything? It's on there. But you're so brave and so bold when you're in America. Carry that same energy when you leave the country. Carry that same energy when you go to Canada, where
And brothers and myself say this all the time. When you Edomites are in slavery in the kingdom, hey, keep that same energy you got right now. That proud, hateful, bigoted, discriminatory energy you have towards Israelites.
85% of the country sees America as a threat. Carry that energy.
Look, let's face it, there are people out there who hate the fact that you and I carry guns, and they're determined to teach us a lesson just for exercising our
energy when you leave the country. Carry that same energy when you go to Canada, where 75% of the country sees America as a threat. Carry that energy when you go to Ireland, a nation that's been absolutely oppressed for hundreds of years by a foreign power. Take that energy with you. Why not? Take it to Cuba. Oh yeah, that's right. Americans can't go there because we've created a humanitarian crisis that Americans have no idea about. This is going viral, and like I said, it's for all the right reasons, because this needs to be normalized. There has to be consequence for who you vote for. There has to be consequence at this point with all the terrible shit that this administration has done, not just to the world, but to America as well, that you realize it's not okay, that you get at least a little bit of pushback. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt and say that all you do is watch right-wing news, so you're fed lines of propaganda that deny reality, so maybe you're just truly ignorant. But at some point, ignorance isn't even an excuse. This is going to become more normal as what's happening in the Middle East right now continues to break down, as war continues to spread, as the economies around the world continue to suffer because of the decisions of the United States that are only possible because people like this woman voted this person in charge. But that's what it is to be in a...
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small amongst the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
American, and that's what the rest of the world doesn't understand. We live our lives with zero accountability. We live our lives not knowing or caring about the consequence of our government's action on other nations. Americans don't care, and that's why there's still over 40% of our country who support all the actions that are happening in Iran right now. And mostly it's because they have no idea what's going on there. They just think that America's going in and spreading freedom, right? They hear that same old line that saw us get into Iraq, that saw us get into Afghanistan, that saw us destabilize Central and South America. They eat up the same lines of bullshit again and again and again from generation to generation. And when it comes to actual fallout or consequences or mass graves that are dug, or generations who are completely lost because their nations don't have infrastructure and don't have a future, and when they end up at the southern border or the northern border or fly into America and try to make a better life in the nation that destroyed their very country, Americans can't be surprised that when they go abroad, especially the Americans who support all this that's happening, that you get a little pushback. You get a couple mean words at a bar. I'll take a couple mean words at a bar. I don't have to worry about my house blowing up. I don't have to worry about, is it safe for me to go to the grocery store? I don't have to worry about a drone hitting a school while my kid's in it. We don't have to worry about these things. And this is a great gift that comes with the ignorance of living in America. You're taught to be ignorant. It's indoctrinated into us, and it's a shame. This lady went viral because she got a small glimpse of reality. She got a small glimpse that the world exists outside of America. She got a small glimpse that people actually care about what happens in other countries, not just owning the libs. The truth is, travel is a privilege, and it's already becoming difficult for Americans like myself to travel because there are more restrictions being set on Americans. American passport used to be the golden passport, really can get you into any country. That's not the case anymore. That's changing. And over the next 3 years especially, it's going to get even more strict. Why would Europe welcome Americans at this point? It pains me to say that because I love Europe and it's a place that I want to raise my kid. But what's the benefit to actually have Americans coming to Europe other than for tourist money? And as tourism picks up from China coming into Europe, from Asia coming into Europe, as they're...
And we'll end it on that note. But hey, may seem like a little thing here, but according to biblical prophecy, the heat is going to turn up on you Americans that disdain, that hate against you, you Edomites, especially in America. But let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 4 because this is going to be the end all be all when everything's said and done. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the United States of America. And while the elites like the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers are the true, power in this country, who's the figurehead? Who's the face? President Donald Trump. And we can see, say from that clip, those Trump voting Edomites, when they went over to Ireland, hey, they got that cold shoulder. And in that first clip with that Edomite and his torta bed wench at Smoothie King, hey, they got that disdainful look. And say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Like I said earlier in the video, America's going to be wiped off the face of the earth by nuclear missiles during World War III. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked, the border of wickedness in Malachi 1 verse 4, and the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job 9 verse 24, you Edomites, and the scepter of the rulers. Any bit of power you Edomites have, from the elites all the way down to the lowest of the low. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, which we're currently seeing in Iran, bombing, girls' schools, desalination plants to give those Iranians clean water, just indiscriminately bombing that place. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. As it says in Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And we can clearly see that the nations of the earth are in mourning under the thumb of the rulership of you Edomites in the West, chiefly America and Israel. But when the righteous are in authority, the true children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, beginning with the elect, governing this planet under the laws, statutes, and commandments, this earth will finally be at peace. Verse 8, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at them, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Even nature itself is going to rejoice because, Esau is going to no longer be graping the earth of its resources. These corporations strip mining lands for their resources, polluting the waters, draining, natural lakes and rivers to power these AI data centers, chemtrails in the sky, etc., etc. Now I'm going to jump down to, I'll keep reading. Hell, or the grave from beneath, is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Speaking of the other heathen nations, because when you don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Lord, you're spiritually dead. Even all the chief ones of the earth, It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, and all they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And this is ultimately in the kingdom, when the heathens are in slavery under the Israelites and see you Edomites just completely through under our subjection. But we're starting to see it now, again, with this situation in Iran. You know, the emperor is being seen without clothes, contrary to what, lamestream media is telling you. The U.S. is not having a good go against those Iranians. You know, over here they say about 8 U.S. soldiers have been deleted. Iran says the number's in the 500s. And then you've got, I think, damn near every base over in Western Asia has been struck. And, America is burning through money and munitions just trying to take down $20,000 to $50,000 drones with multiple $1 million weapons. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Though thou liftest thyself up as the eagle, thence will I bring thee down. The Lord taken away all this pride and power you Edomites have, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Again, symbolizing the grave, your rulership dying and decaying. But I'm going to jump down to I'll read verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, which just means, light bearer, son of the morning. This isn't talking about the spiritual demon Satan. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Which, especially after World War II, look at what America did to the second and the third world, especially. These proxy wars, that just, the petrodollar system, the economic hitmen, just completely weakened these nations and made them subservient to the U.S. But now at your end, and with alternatives like the BRICS being opened up, these nations are starting to stand up against you. But when we get that word Lucifer, it's H 1966, Helale, which in the outline of biblical usage, we're going to go down to A, of the king of Babylon and Satan, figuratively. So this Lucifer, light bearer, is speaking to you, Esau. And hey, these elites, what do they call themselves? The Illuminati, or the enlightened ones, which that light of wickedness of yours is dimming down quickly. You're being exposed. But now I'm going to jump down to verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Dropping atomic bombs on Japan during World War II, shocking all during the war in Iraq. But as it said, they shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? You being seen for what you are, the villain, and what? Your propaganda no longer giving you that pristine image. Like I just said, this war against Iran is exposing your weaknesses, and then when you're fully out of power in the kingdom, you're going to be what you've always been, the basest of men, the lowest of the low. But that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.